Welcome to Expert Subjects Weekly Podcast. Today we're lucky to have Miss Natasha Chapovalova, a successful writer from Binghamton University and editor of 2 journals. Today we're going to be talking to Natasha a little bit about her memoir writing, as well as how her writing has helped her succeed and obtain scholarships and various awards so that she can go all over the world and do good. So Natasha came to the United States at the age of 5, but what's so amazing about her is her grace and ease with the English language, which I feel as an editor and writer, observing her skill with the written word far surpasses many middle-aged Americans who've lived here all their lives. Natasha, I would love if you could read just a little bit from Beneath Lenin's Elbow.
Of course, Jennifer. Along with the exodus from the newly formed wastelands, the countryside has suffered a natural abandonment in favor of the cities. I asked to visit the survivors. In my grandfather's battered red Lada, we dodged potholes down a major highway, arriving at the house where he was born. Others lived there now, neighborless, but the shutters were still blue and the garden still fenced. World War II trenches pocketed the derevnya and surrounding forest, disappearing like round hills into the flooded plain at the village edge. Nearby was a cemetery where several pairs of storks were nesting high above my great-grandfather's grave. Beside his tomb, I picked up a cup and plate and washed it down by the water. My grandfather poured great-grandfather and us juice the color of red wine. "Za zdorovye," to health, he said. Instead, we drank to the storks in the trenches and to our fathers. On the way back to the car, my grandfather tossed his lunch container onto the garbage pile littering the creek he once played in, beneath the trees he once climbed. "Look at this trash," he muttered. Quietly, I picked up the container and placed it under my feet as we drove away. After stopping to pick up soda bottles of fresh birch juice from an old friend, we reached my great-great-grandmother's house. The planks were turning to soil, feeding the sour cherry trees now left to grow where they had never asked to be planted. Chickens from next door picked at the fallen fruit. We bought eggs and turned the car around, back to Gorman. The tank was nearly empty as we bobbed back over the eroded asphalt and through the birch tree forests, now pressing the gas where the road dipped or stretched flat. We had the time. And that is the excerpt from the piece.
That's beautiful, Natasha. Now, what inspired you to write this piece?
Well, originally it was supposed to be an essay for a grant that I was applying for, the Harper Fellows, which is this grant that gives money to students to pursue a project that helps a community anywhere in the world, anywhere from the university community to outside the country. And so because of my experiences in Belarus last summer, I decided to carry out this project helping children affected by Chernobyl in Belarus, and I'm going to do an art therapy project with them. So in order to receive this grant, I had to write an essay, and I wrote an essay for it, and then it ended up being the base for a kind of short prose piece that I developed.
That's great. So basically your writing not only got you the grant to go to Russia and help these children, but it's also a beautiful piece of writing that we're hopefully going to get published soon. So that's really exciting. And let's see. So this piece is nonfiction. It's memoir, which is something that we've spoken about in previous podcasts. And you can hear Natasha's unique voice resonating and her description, the detail, the characters. She does everything that people have to spend years learning in class. You did take some creative writing classes, right?
I did. It was my first or second year at Binghamton University, and I feel like those classes really did help me because before that, I think I was stuck in more of the high school writing style, and I learned some basic rules that got me out of certain habits. so that was good. But other than that, I haven't taken many classes besides those.
Right. Well, so I think it's important for people to know that these writing skills that we've been talking about are obviously excellent for strengthening your prose, your fiction, your creative nonfiction, your memoir. But also, as you could see, in an academic environment, Natasha is excelling because of her extraordinary ability to express herself with the written word, and this is giving her opportunity to receive grants and go out into the world and establish herself professionally, but also do good for people in communities as far away as Russia. So, and you're going to Mexico as well this summer?
Yeah, I'm going to Mexico this summer. I had to write a proposal for that as well, which also included an essay about my previous experiences. So I'm going to be doing psychological research with this tribe on the western coast of Mexico. So that should be very interesting.
That's great. And what kind of research is this?
It's technically evolutionary psychology, so how our evolutionary past affects our psychological states today. And so I will be collecting data from this tribe in this remote village in Mexico and comparing their level of their types of caregiving that different family members give to children, to kinship ties and interrelatedness between those people.
That's great. I'm sure you're going to have a lot to write about from these experiences this summer, and we look forward to hearing more and reading more and hearing about your successes in the publishing world, which I know are going to happen. So thank you for being our guest this week on Expert Subjects. And be sure to read this week's article, which we're going to continue to discuss pacing this week, which is something Natasha does very well, and how to move your piece along without stalling or rushing and being inconsistent. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.